Arcade football with red shells, no rules, and Donkey Kong punching the ball into the net like it owes him money. So welcome to Super Mario Strikers, one of the most chaotic, aggressive and oddly underrated games on the GameCube. Well, Nintendo has released this Mario Sports Classic on GameCube for Nintendo Switch Online recently, and today I'm going to cover the strengths and the shortcomings and why it's a great addition to Nintendo Classics today. Well, if you enjoyed the video or find it useful, hit that subscribe button down below for even more Nintendo content here on Power Up Direct. Originally released in late 2005, Super Mario Strikers, or Mario Smash Football in Europe, took the clean-cut world of football and threw it into a blender with banana peels, bombs, and no fouls whatsoever. Critics were surprised. It wasn't the Mario Kart of football. It was something a little bit more savage. It was more like Smash Brothers on a pitch. So at the time, IGN called it a simple but effective sports title with a unique Mario twist, praising the aggressive tone and how fun it was with friends. And also GameSpot noted the game's action is frenzied and satisfying, but also said the lack of modes kept it from true greatness. Next up, let's have a look at the gameplay. So what sets Mario Strikers apart? So it's the physicality, basically. This wasn't football with a Mario skin. This was a full contact 5-on-5 brawl where you can simply body check Peach into an electric fence. And when you do, by goodness me, she lets out a scream. Critics loved the twist. It made the action immediate, it was visceral and strategic, especially when items come into play. When Nintendo Power said Super Mario Strikers isn't just fun, it's ferociously fun. Every tackle feels earned. But there was a trade-off, that same simplicity, no fouls, one type of arena, limited shot varieties, left some reviewers feeling like the depth was sacrificed for chaos. So Eurogamer at the time gave it a 7 out of 10, and they said it's wonderfully ridiculous in multiplayer, but solo players are going to run out of steam pretty fast. Okay, let's have a look at the visuals and the audio. So visually, Super Mario Strikers has some grit. It's the first Mario Sports title to lean into a more aggressive, almost punk aesthetic. Characters have got mean faces, lightning cracked in the background, and even Luigi looked like he's ready to throw hands. Honestly, when Toad scores a goal, his face, the frown on his face, it's pretty scary, and is quite entertaining as well. Game Informer gave it an 8 out of 10. They said the animation is surprisingly intense. You feel the impact of every tackle and every super strike. So the sound design was really solid. It's got really crunchy effects with a rock-heavy soundtrack, and it amplifies the tension. Though some reviewers wished for more voice lines and crowd variety, it definitely captured the mood really well. Next up, let's have a look at single player versus multiplayer. So this is definitely where the reviews started to diverge. So if you were playing alone, you'd burn through the game's content in a few hours. The cup challenges were decent, but definitely lacked variety. Critics agreed the AI wasn't smart, and the difficulty spiked in quite strange ways. So Edge Magazine gave it a 6 out of 10. They said single player wears thin, it's clearly built for couch co-op. However, in multiplayer, that is where Super Mario Strikers really shines. So reviewers at the time raved about the frantic, screaming at your friends gameplay. It was really quick. So it's quick to learn, but pretty hard to master under pressure. Games Radar at the time gave it an 8 out of 10. They said best enjoyed with friends and a bowl of chips, preferably ones that don't fly across the room when Bowser stomps on the field. Okay, so final verdict, most reviewers agreed. Super Mario Strikers was a bold, brawling take on football that nailed its tone, but fell short of greatness due to repetition and a thin single-player offering. So the average Metacritic score is about 76 out of 100, although despite that it sparked a cult following, spawning sequels like Mario Strikers Charged and also Battle League on the Switch, although the game on the Switch isn't very good, doesn't really hold a candle to Super Mario Strikers. It also set the tone for more experimental Mario sports games, ones that weren't afraid to get very weird. Super Mario Strikers isn't perfect, but it's definitely unforgettable. It gave us a version of Mario that we hadn't seen before, scrappy, aggressive, and maybe just a little bit unhinged. And honestly, I am here for it. Well, Super Mario Strikers is available on the GameCube on Nintendo Switch 2, You just want to check out Nintendo Switch Online and the Nintendo Classics package. Well, let me know what you think of Super Mario Strikers here in the comments. I would love to hear what you think. Well, that is it for this quick review of Super Mario Strikers. I think this is one of the best games on the GameCube via Nintendo Switch Online or Switch 2 that we've seen so far, and I really can't wait for more to come out. But let me know in the comments what you think. But that is it for this video review today. Thank you so much for watching or for listening. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below for even more Nintendo content here on Power Up Direct. Thanks again. I'll see you real soon.